I no longer let the whispers of others overpower the voice of my own spirit. The world may judge, but this truth is mine to speak, and I will never hold it back. The path to wholeness begins when you stop seeking permission to be yourself. Every opinion cast your way is merely background noise to your authentic truth. I've walked through storms of doubt and faced countless raised eyebrows, yet I'm still here, proclaiming the truth no one else can tell but me. When you realize no one can silence your inner voice but you, the burden of outside judgment becomes far too small to matter. Every time I speak what's real for me, I liberate a piece of my soul. What others think of that moment is simply not my concern. If I stand alone with my convictions, I still stand strong. My truth does not require the applause of the crowd. There's a bravery in being utterly seen. I choose to take that risk because hiding who I am would rob the world of what only I can give. Voices of doubt will always exist, but the courageous soul keeps moving forward, led by a vision that transcends judgment. Telling my story is an act of self-empowerment. If others can't handle the truth I bring, that does not diminish its worth. No matter how many pointing fingers I face, I will not fold. My honesty shines brighter than the shadows of criticism. The moment you decide to speak your truth fearlessly is the moment you hand back every label ever forced upon you. Judgment is often a reflection of someone else's unhealed scars. I refuse to let those scars define my narrative. I find peace in knowing that I have the courage to be real, even in a world that prefers me to be silent. Let them stare, let them question. Your life is your stage, and only you can perform the script of your soul. You can't bury your truth for the comfort of others and hope to be free. Liberation comes when we unravel our stories for the world to see. I don't need everyone's nod of approval. The light in my heart is the only permission I require to shine. Silence may be easier sometimes, but it robs the world of knowing who I really am. So I speak up, fear be damned. I refuse to water down my essence just to blend in. I was never meant to live in the shadows of someone else's opinion. We don't break from the weight of other people's judgments. We break only when we judge ourselves unworthy of our own truth. There is a power in embracing every part of who you are. The critics may scoff, but your soul will rejoice. I choose to wear my imperfections with pride, for they are the best proof of my humanity and the truest reflection of my journey. It's not the world's acceptance that frees us, but our acceptance of ourselves, flaws, scars, brilliance, and all. To stand tall in your truth is a radical act. It demonstrates that your spirit is stronger than any storm of judgment. When the world turns its back because you won't bend to its expectations, realize you've just been liberated to walk your own path. I will not conform for the comfort of onlookers. My mission is to grow into the fullest expression of who I am meant to be. If you hide your reality to make others feel safe, you'll never know the beauty of being fully cherished for all that you are. Conviction is born when the heart knows its truth. Opinions dissolve when they encounter a person living in full alignment. Sometimes you have to speak up, not because you want to change minds, but because you need to honor your own. My story might not be perfect, but it's mine to tell. No outside judgment can ever take that ownership away. Truth-telling can be lonely at times, but in that solitude, we discover an inner power that no crowd could ever bestow. There's a serene boldness in declaring, "This is who I am, and I will not waver." It's the moment you choose your own worth. I won't live in the echo of someone else's expectations. My truth sings a unique melody that only I can perform. The day I recognized my own voice was the day I stopped craving the validation of every passerby. For so long, I was afraid of the world's judgment, until I realized the greatest risk is never allowing myself to truly be seen. No one else can unveil your truth for you. It's a journey of courage, vulnerability, and unwavering self-love. Telling your truth isn't about seeking pity or praise, but about setting yourself free and inspiring others to do the same. In a room full of judgments, a single, unapologetic truth is the strongest force. Let your authenticity be that force. They can doubt me, misunderstand me, or talk behind my back, but they cannot steal my right to speak from my soul. Don't hesitate to write your own narrative. The critics will comment regardless, so let their words be background static as you build something real. My courage is measured by how faithfully I stand in my convictions, not by how many people applaud me for them. What others see as flaws are merely chapters in my story. I embrace every chapter because each one led me here. Dimming my light to make others comfortable was never the answer. I now glow brighter, not to blind them, but to guide myself. The greatest transformation began when I chose to live in sync with what I feel, rather than with what others demanded. Raising your voice isn't just about volume. It's about daring to be heard in a space that tries to keep you silent. If judgment is the price of honesty, I'll pay it every time because I find immeasurable peace in being real. By courageously revealing my wounds, I discovered they were actually wings, a symbol of all I've overcome and all I can become. Fear of judgment keeps us trapped in half-lived lives. Break the chains by declaring, I am enough, and watch how free you feel. Truth is not for sale. It is not negotiable. Stand firm in what you know and let the critics do their worst. Your truth is not a spectacle. It's a torch in the darkness. Hold it high and let it guide you, not shame you. Often, the strongest sign of self-love is refusing to shrink back into silence just to ease someone else's discomfort. There's no freedom in trying to fit into a mold you never designed for yourself. Authenticity breaks the mold and reshapes your destiny. I learned that the people who truly matter are those who celebrate you for who you are, not who they think you should be. I've grown tired of tiptoeing around the truth. When your soul demands a voice, you owe it to yourself to let it speak. I stand by my story because it's me, messy, complicated, beautiful, and undeniably true. In that mess, I find my greatest strength. Judgment often comes from those who haven't discovered their own truth yet. Don't let their fear become your reality. I used to stay quiet, afraid of reactions. Now I share openly, trusting that my authenticity will light a path for someone else. Don't fear rejection for being real. Fear the regret of never giving the world a chance to know your true self. When I speak my truth, I invite my own soul to breathe. It's the kind of breath that no opinion can stifle. You are allowed to own your story fully. The messy starts, the hopeful middles, and the triumphant ends without apology. I'm finished hiding. My story has meaning, my voice has power, and no external judgment can silence the truth that glows within. I refuse to shrink in the presence of doubt. Every time I stand in my truth, I grow stronger, and the world becomes a little more willing to listen. The most beautiful thing you can do is live boldly and unapologetically. Don't dim your light to avoid the glare of judgment. I used to let the opinions of others keep me quiet, but now I realize my voice is too precious to be muffled by fear. No one else has walked the path I have. My experiences, my lessons, and my truth belong to me, and I will share them freely without hesitation. Every time I tell my truth, I break a little more free from the chains of expectation. I am no longer bound by what others think of me. Let them gossip, let them whisper. My peace is found in speaking what is real, even if it makes others uncomfortable. The world doesn't need more pretenses, it needs more honesty. I am no longer afraid to be the one to offer it, no matter the cost. When I choose to speak up, I am not seeking approval. I am simply honoring the sacredness of my own voice, and that's all I need. I've stopped apologizing for my authenticity. I am who I am, and I will never apologize for being real in a world full of facades. Standing in your truth takes courage. It takes the willingness to be disliked, to be misunderstood, and yet to still choose yourself above all else. I may not have all the answers, but the truth I carry within me is the one thing that cannot be denied, and that truth will always guide me. It's not about proving anything to anyone. It's about honoring the real, raw version of yourself that you've been too afraid to show. I choose authenticity over comfort, even if it means rocking the boat. The price of staying silent is too high, and I'm ready to pay it. The world may try to silence me, but I've learned that no amount of pressure can extinguish the fire of self-empowerment once it's ignited. There is power in owning your story. Even the painful chapters are worth telling, for they are what make the narrative uniquely yours. I've stopped seeking validation from others. The only validation I need is the one I give myself every time I stay true to who I am. The truth is mine to hold and to share as I see fit. Those who cannot accept it are not my audience. They are only passing by.